Morena Atamaria koutou. It's beautiful to have you all here this morning. It's a beautiful day here in Tāmaki Makaurau. And before we start our session, I'm going to begin us with karakia, kapai. So, karakia timatanga e noi tātou. Hauora mai ronga, hauora mai raro, hauora mai roto, hauora mai waho. Hauora te pūtake o tēnei kaupapa ki a pūrangi aho tātou I te wānanga me te kōrero. Tēnei te titi ake te pau hauora ki te pūtake o tēnei wānanga. Tutu o white whakamaua kia tīna, tīna, haumie, huie, tai ki e. E mihi ane ki a tātou, tātou kua whakakotahi mai ki te kaupapa o te pūaha o kōrero. And we have a focus today on changing your seasons. Kia ora. So, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa. I am going to hand you over to Michelle. So, over to you, Michelle.
Thanks for our putakia Tuihana. Morena koutou, everyone. Ko Michelle Gallagher tēnei. I think I recognise a few faces, so welcome back, and to our new peeps, welcome. To Pūaha Talks are brought to you by the Centre for Social Impact, and we get amazing support from Foundation North to make these happen. So right up, we're going to do a quick poll, which you might be familiar with. So Foundation North are interested to see how many of their grantees are coming along and taking advantage. So if you can just vote there. Oh, you're quick this morning. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Lovely. And a tiny bit of housekeeping today. So we're going to be reasonably interactive. Tuihana gets you doing some reflecting, maybe some sharing. We are recording, so if you are a little bit shy, you're welcome to use the chat for your shares. Or yeah, please have your video on and feel free to chat when she asks some questions. And yeah, I think that's us for today. So thank you, welcome, enjoy. Over to you, Tuihana.
Thank you, Michelle. Morena whae, Sophie. Oh, morena, Eliana. Oh, beautiful to see you all here this morning. Before we get started, I always like to do a bit of whakawhanaingatanga. And so it would be beautiful if you could put ko waio, so who are you, where are you from, and how are you coming into this space today? And actually, one more thing, I know lots of things, right, is why are you coming to this session today? That would be really lovely. Ka pai, so you can put that in the chat. That would be beautiful. I also, while you're doing that, just want to take a moment. I'm aware that someone within this workshop today has lost somebody recently. And so we would just like to send all our aroha to you, to your friends, and to the person that has passed and their whānau. So moi mai rā te rangatira. Just sending a whole lot of aroha from all our hearts to yours today. Kia ora. Ka pai, I can't wait to see this. Oh, we've got a tui on the chat as well. Love that. Ka pai, Joe Roberts from Creative Northland based in Opua. Kia ora, Joe. Oh, this is going to take a little while. Kia ora, I'm Ruth from Timaru. Very aware of the coming spring and sunny but warm weather, but still frosty this morning and sunny now. Beautiful. Liana, living in Ōtepoti, arriving a little sad and here to bring a bit of restorative energy to myself. Beautiful. Oh, yes, girl. Love that. Kia ora koutou, ko Ori tuku ingoa, calling in from Kirikiriroa. I find myself in many transitions currently, so this is perfect timing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kia ora Lisa, tuku ingoa kei no shua haere noho, and I'm arriving a bit swiftly, but well. I always love stepping through the seasons with you in this way, Tuihana. Oh, kia ora Lisa, thank you so much. It's beautiful. Sometimes these responses do call for a bit of vulnerability, so I really appreciate the pono kōrero, the honest responses that you have in the chat. Thank you. I can see people still typing. While you're doing that, I might just introduce myself for those that may not know me. Ko Georgina au no Tamaki Makarau Ingari Te Kao Tuku Kaipō, or attending today on behalf of my mahi hau Te Waipuna Puawai. This workshop was offered and I love what it was presently, and we too go through seasons. Absolutely. Beautiful. I'm just going to introduce myself as you respond to those pārtai. Kia ora, David. Always great to have a Tani in the space. Yay, bring some balance. Kia ora mātua. So I'm just going to introduce myself. Tauranga moana, maua o maunga, nā te rangi nui, nai te rangi, nā te pūkenga e tau nei. E taho toku pāpā no nai te rangi nā te pūkenga me te arawa o ku iwi, no nā pōtiki toku hapu, no tauranga moana tauranga tangata, e taho toku māma no Stilo Whitehorn Denison and McKissick whānau. And if I answer my own questions about who am I, that's who I am. I am European on my mother's side and Māori on my father's. I come from a beautiful place called Mount Maunganui, Tauranga. How am I arriving today? I'm arriving quite excited. I'm in Tāmiki Makaurau, but actually live in Kirikiriroa because I really love New Zealand Fashion Week. So I'm here to celebrate New Zealand Fashion Week. And if you haven't got your tickets for Kāhui Collective tomorrow, 3 o'clock, a group of 5 Māori designers and 1 Fijian designer are taking the stage tomorrow, and it's really exciting. So that's why I'm here. And so I come in feeling quite buoyant, quite happy, and always love delivering this work to those of all who you all are in terms of your work and your commitment to community. And so, yeah, and I'm just, you probably don't hear it enough, but just thank you. You are valued, you are seen, and you are heard in the work that you're doing. So thank you, big mahi. I'm just going to keep reading this. Kia ora, I am Sherry Zhu. I hope I got that right. You can correct me, Sherry, from the Asian Network. We are based in Onehunga. I'd like to hear Tuihana's beautiful interpretation, gain some positive vibes to start the week. Wicked. Kia ora koutou, ko Sophie Strickland or Aotearoa. Yes, I know a Strickland. Roa ko Ngāti Kuri, Ngāti Uri, ko Glen Innes te kainga noho. I'm just present and ready to absorb. Beautiful. Denise, kia ora rā, I'm Denise. I'm based in Tāmaki with Recreate NZ, but I grew up in Tauranga Moana, a whakapapa from the Philippines. Oh, yeah. I've sent this workshop from my team, and I'd love to learn more about transitions and the seasons. I come into this space a little tired, but really keen to learn. Beautiful. Well, no mai haere mai, everybody. No mai haere mai. Stephanie, cool. Stephanie. Soko ingoa no Tāmaki Makaurau ahau, coming to learn and connect. So I'm re-establishing myself as whānau here in Aotearoa. No mai haere mai, Stephanie. Beautiful to have you all here. There's this beautiful thing that we're all currently doing, no matter what space that we may be sitting in, no matter which part of the motu. And we're doing it by being present and with each of you. And that is this beautiful gift that we have called ha. And ha, our tupuna, our ancestors, knew how valuable ha was, and ha is our breath. And so before we kind of get into this, and it's also a real gift for ourselves to take a moment for our heart. It's not in this cacophony, in this environment that we find ourselves in, so much going on in our outside worlds. And I would say that not only do you give yourself to your mahi, but you give yourself as mothers, aunties, cousins, uncles, dads, partners, you know, that we need to just, I'm just going to ask us to, and it's not selfishly, but I'm just going to ask us to take a couple of moments for ourselves as we navigate ourselves through the next hour or so. Ka pai? So what I'd really, really welcome you all to do right now, and ha is our breath. It's what keeps us present. It's what keeps us alive. Kia ora, Douglas. Lovely to have you join us. And I would love for all of us to get very, very comfortable wherever we may be, in our turu, in our chair. Some of you may want to lie down on the floor. That is all fine. Some of you may like to stand up. But I'm just going to ask each of you to get really comfortable. Hands in a position that you're comfortable with. Try and release that tension from your shoulders. So you might want to lift them up to your taringa, to your ears a couple of times. Let them go. You might want to wiggle them around, but I just want you to get really comfortable. And that response, putting your arms up in the air, is actually a nervous system response. That also our whānau and our tupuna, our ancestors are very wise. I'm just going to ask you. Now, when you're breathing, you can either keep your eyes, you can either shut down your eyes or keep them open. That's entirely up to you, because we want to ensure how you feel safe. Okay? So I just want you to get comfortable, and I just want you to focus on kei roto, breathing in, and kei waho, breathing out. And you might have noticed that before I began the karakia and opened this session, I took a big ha. Right? Ha is a gift that we can give ourselves. So just want you to just notice how you're breathing. And are you breathing from your chest? And I'd ask you to breathe from your pito, from your whare tangata, from your solar plexus, from your pito is your belly button. Your whare tangata, all those beautiful parts of us that give life. We're going to sit here for a little while, and we're just going to focus on our heart. And you may hear noise. And whenever you hear noise, just bring it back to your heart. Kei roto, breathing in. Kei waho, breathing out. And we're going to be here for a little while. And I just want you to take your time. Give yourself the gift of heart. Every now and then you will hear my voice. But we're going to try and keep this quiet and as still as possible. Ka pai? It's just a reminder, we want to breathe in from our pito, from our puku, from our solar plexus, from our belly button. We want to be breathing from there. Kei roto, breathing in. Kei waho, breathing out. And when you're ready, just like you to wiggle your toes, wiggle your waiwai, wiggle your hands. Take in some really 3 deep, glorious breaths. Oh, you might want to have a stretch. Oh, whatever it is that your impulse. Your body will tell you, your tinana will tell you what it is that you need. Kapai? How was that fire, Sophie? Tino? Kapai. Beautiful. Well, isn't it beautiful that the sun is out, that Te Rā has greeted us? And wherever you may be in the motu, I'm always grateful for Te Rā, always grateful for the day. And we're moving into, from a maramataka, from a Māori lunar calendar, we've got a few more weeks left of Takurua, of winter. I think it's around about the 23rd of September that we actually move from Takurua, winter, into Kōanga, which is spring. And as we leave and start to shed off those layers of Takurua, we come into this space of Kōanga. And Kōanga is regrowth. It's like resetting. It's when things come to life. It's like, you know, it's when the lambs are being born and you start to see them, you start to see daffodils come pop up. And if you walk into the ngahere, you'll begin to see change in the ngahere. You'll begin to see, where I live in Kirikiriroa, across the way from me is the Hamilton Gardens, and there's a path there which is dedicated to ngahere, so native plants from the Waikato. And I love walking through there in Kōanga because you can start to see the fern fronds start to, you know, the little baby one. And what I also love is along the awa, all the kōwhai starts to bloom and all the tui come out to play, you know. And from a Te Ao Māori perspective, the blooming of kōwhai is actually significant and has a direct hononga or connection to what's happening in the moana. So if you're a kina lover, which I'm not, but if you are a kina lover and you love kaimoana, when kōwhai blooms, same with pahutakawa, and what's happening in the ngahere can have an influence on what's happening in the moana. Now, if you think about us as tangata, as people of the whenua, we are too part of that. There's not a separation there. We are too part of that. Like, if I was to say to you, mind you, I'm a bit of a sun bunny. I love the sun. How does the sun make you feel? When you think about spring, what is a kupu that comes to mind? What is a word or description that comes to mind? Now, this is where we're going to get a little bit into it. Radiance, alive, bright, beautiful, you know? But also it's an opportunity, regeneration, beautiful, rebirth, yes, brighter, awakening, yes, warmth, yes, colourful, joy, haripāma, connections, vibrating. Yeah, how kupu whai, Sophie? I know, she's like, don't pick on me, I'm not picking on you. Hey? Korero mai. Yes, fire. Yes, fire. So, you know, we've had this beautiful season of Takurua. Takurua is so significant within the maramataka because we have matariki. Matariki is that time for us to set intentions for the year ahead. Now we go into spring and we have that same opportunity again, whānau, to set intentions for the season ahead. Ka pai? And did anyone bring pen or paper? Actually, it doesn't matter. But we're going to, oh yeah, good. We're going to set some intentions today, ka pai? We're going to set some intentions for Kōanga for spring. All right? Now, before we kind of go into this deeper dive of that, I really feel like at the moment there's this energy of disconnecting us from one another, disconnecting us from Wairua, disconnecting us from Papatuanaku, from Mother Earth, this disconnection, right? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of cacophony of things. More and more people are using your services, but things are really like, you know, I so want to, I cannot tell you how much I want to mahi to each of you for the work that you do. With these tight budgets and trying to serve people and trying to serve community. But this is also an opportunity of kotahitanga, of coming together. And there's this beautiful guy, and his name's called Bob Marley. And he's got this beautiful song. And so I'm going to ask you, and I really don't care if you're in office or not. You might want to share it with those around you. But we're going to get up and we're going to have a little kani right now. So a bit of a waita that, and Michelle's going to pull that up. You haven't got it? Hang on one moment, please. But there's the song. One love, one heart. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to do a little kani to this one. So get up off your seats, wherever you may be. Can everyone hear it? Michelle, oh, you can hear it? Okay, great.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just save his own belief. One love. What about a one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning. One love. So shall it be in the end. One heart. Alright. Thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One song. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Saying, one love. What about the one heart? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm pleading to mankind. One love. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel
right. See? Wasn't that a bit of fun? I think sometimes we get so caught up in our mahi and what's going on around us that we forget that it's okay to have a little bit of fun, right? It's okay. How, I mean, that was probably what, 3 minutes, maybe 4? Was it 3 minutes, Michelle? 2 minutes. And we did 2 minutes of ha. And there's a beautiful lady that I've done some work with called Louise Mara, and she talks about making time for 6 1-minute ha sessions. No, not phones unless you want to listen to your music. But yeah, and I think that, I mean, we've done 2 ha in this short time that we've been together. And I don't know about you, but it's made me feel definitely energized and great. Ka pai? We're going to probably do a bit of sharing today, just heads up. So get ready to turn those mics off at some point. Ka pai? What I'd really love us to do is to just do some reflection about Takurua. So the winter that is coming to a close. And what is it that we would like to let go of? And what is it that we enjoyed also? Because it's really easy for us to go, yeah, no, we didn't like that, and kind of get stuck on that. But we also need to remember those harikwa moments, the joyful moments, the things that we are grateful for. So what's something that we want to let go of? And what's something that we want to welcome? Ka pai? Or that we're grateful for, sorry, in terms of Takurua for winter. One thing that I've let go of or letting go of over during this phase, so I recently went to Rarotonga for a week, and because I don't particularly like August. I find August a difficult, challenging month mentally for me. So I took myself off to Rarotonga, and it was a solo trip. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And one thing was that I thought, I really need to let go of, and excuse me for the swearing I'm about to do, okay? So and that is, I really need to let go of the bullshit that I tell myself, which actually holds me back and keeps me in a space of being stuck in some things. I really need to let that go, because that's just a story in my head. That's not a felt story in my body. That's just a story in my head. That's some bullshit, something or other. I really need to let that go. But what I'm grateful for is that knowing, is that learning. Knowing that about myself. And no, I'm not going to change it overnight. But it will come. And I'm really grateful for my life. For the life that my tūpuna have gifted me and given me. And my life and hopefully the learnings and the things that I pass on to my 3 beautiful sons. That's what I'm grateful for. So my question to you is, what would you like to let go of? And what are you grateful for from this time? Because we must always be I believe we must always be grateful for the things that may feel uncomfortable and yucky. Because often they're te kore spaces, they're the nothingness spaces, but in te kore and in those spaces comes the most beautiful learnings, often about ourselves, right? Often about ourselves. So I would love you to think on that, and then I'm going to ask 1 or 2 to share. Now, I apologise in advance because we've got 2 Tani on this call. And because we've got 2, it's highly likely you're both going to come off and speak. Ka pai? So just giving you the heads up, Drummond and David, or Douglas, sorry, Douglas and David, that I'll be coming at you at some point from a place of aroha, And so ka pai? So I'm going to start with you, Douglas. What is it that you'd like to let go of, and what are you grateful for from this time?
Kia ora koutou. Yeah, I think I've been living overseas the last 22 years. I've just come back home 9 months ago, so quite a big change. I've had half my life abroad, and I think I came in with a lot of expectations of myself and others too. Very supportive whānau. My dear father just said, "Oh, you don't have to come back on a white horse, Doug. You can just, you can just be yourself." That's really proven to be a big challenge. So yeah, I think just shedding that, letting go of those expectations, because they're starting to also project out to expectations of other people too. So just trying to curb that and let that melt away a wee bit, a lot. So yeah, letting go of those expectations, because they can make me a bit stuck too. But very grateful too to actually the slowing down. Actually, the inertia of feeling stuck has really been called upon to slow things down a lot. So a lot of time with whānau, a lot of time to be able to learn and study as well. Probably very much what brought me to this place too. So just gently being receptive and opening up to new spaces and new ideas. So you're really celebrating the inertia, and turning it into a beautiful place of slowing down.
Beautiful. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you very, very much. Bye, Sophie.
Ka pai, kia ora koutou. I've been doing a lot of wānganga too through winter, so I suppose I'm grateful. Oh no, I would like to just have a bit more sunny days in my wānganga, I suppose. But with it comes, with the winter part comes a lot of heaviness for me through this time, even through the wānganga, because I thought I already knew a lot about how our people were, about our tupuna, about certain words like whānau, rangatiratanga. I thought I already knew. So I'm grateful in winter. I'm grateful for this season because I learned to understand myself a bit better. I learned that the words that I had on certain things for Māoridom weren't my own words, they were other people's words. And through this journey, I've learned that I have my own words that I can use that can benefit whānau, and that being Māori doesn't make you, doesn't put you in a box. Being Māori puts you everywhere because you're connected to everything. So I don't know if that made sense, but that was what I'm really grateful for. Is I'm grateful for my understanding of being Māori more, I suppose. Yes. I mean, I've been Māori all my life, tough, strong, held a flag, but then having a greater understanding of it is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Kia ora.
Thank you, Fire. Thank you, Fire, Sophie. Ruth.
Kia ora. Yeah, I was thinking hard about this. I think every winter I anticipate, because I really struggle with the short daylight hours and so much time with electric light, which I don't find easy to read or to concentrate. So I sort of anticipate that, and in an unhelpful way, I think, sort of bring negativity with it, because I know that it will be a bit of a struggle, but every winter, and I will take this into the next one, not focus on that, because I think it can bring the negative feelings with it instead of just finding a workaround with it. So I think that was something that I need to let go of. And what I was grateful for, there are lots of positives, and I really do enjoy. We have a log burner, so we've got a real fire to sit in front of, which I absolutely love. We've got just kind of that opportunity to relax a bit more, because I'm flexy with my working hours. I can work from home, so I can sit in front of that fire and do my mahi. But also comfort food and those kind of things, that lovely hot soup and things like that. So I really do enjoy that aspect of the season.
And thank you, Fire Ruth, for sharing that. And one thing I learned actually only recently, which makes so much sense though, you don't realize you kind of know it until someone says it to you, and that is that fire is another way of like pure, of like cleansing. It's that warmth, but it's also that opportunity to burn things away. And I was like, oh, of course, when people say, if you kind of want to like kind of leave something behind, sometimes you can write yourself a note and put it on a fire and it burns. I was like, of course. But like you, Fire Ruth, I really love the warmth that a fire brings, that kind of cozy feeling. I can feel it on my back actually as you're speaking. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Denise.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
So this past season has been a lot of change for me. As I said, I'm based in Tāmaki now, but I just moved up from Tauranga Moana 2 months ago. So I am grateful for all of the changes, and I'm so grateful for the mahi that I'm doing. When I was in uni, it was something that, well, working in the charity sector, working in the disability sector, was something that I was really, really gunning for. So I'm so grateful for that, and to be moving further along in it. But something that I'm really wanting to let go of during this time, that I've kind of discovered for myself from all of this changes, is this attitude that I've been having about settling into such a new and different environment. Of like, whoa, this is way too big for me. And also, like, I don't know, just like, I've been in a lot of reflective spaces, especially with other young people and peers, and it just makes me feel old. So I'd like to let go of that.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
And any great gratitude?
Oh, and my gratitude, I'm grateful for all the changes and just being young.
Yeah, we're all young, by the way.
Yeah.
We're all young. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. And I just, change can be quite disruptive, right? Change can be quite disruptive, but it also brings an opportunity for learning. And it's interesting because, like Fire Sophie, I'm on my te reo journey, and like, man, that when you think you've learned all that you can learn in our world, there's more to learn. Like when they talk about, if you ever know a potama design is like steps. Those steps in Te Ao Māori never stop. They never stop. You kind of reach a certain point and then you step again, And so I feel you, Fire Sophie. I really, really feel you. It's beautiful. Youth adjacent. That's right. That's right, Michelle. What I'd really love us to do too is to think about, because spring is also our wettest time of the year. It's often when there's a lot of rain. And if you think about it, it feels like that kind of cleanse before we hit the raumati, before we hit summer. And it's not only that, it's rain allows us to fill up on things, in terms of our dams and our rivers and our oceans. Everything gets filled up before we come into this really dry, hot season. But I'm wondering, how do we intend to fill ourselves up when we think about Kōanga? What's an intention that we'd like to set ourselves? And if you've got pen and paper, or even if you've got a phone, or you don't even have to have either, but I'd love you to, first of all, put your, and I do this quite a bit. So if you come across, if you've been to the one previously, we're kind of going to repeat that because we're coming into Kōanga now. And that is to think about your name in the middle of a page. Right? You can draw it. You can do whatever it is that you want. Think about your name David, your name Denise, your name Douglas, your name Lisa, Georgina, Gody, Eliana, Michelle, Roy, Ruth, Sherry, Sophie, Deborah, Roy, and then Stephanie. Think about your name. First name, surname, your names, all the names in between. And I want you to think about where your name came from. The reason I always start with this is because it grounds us back into who we are, where your name came from, who gave you your name, why you were named that name. And look, I've heard it all. Oh, my dad liked this actress and my mum didn't like her, but dad won, so I got called, Farrah, after Farrah Fawcett, or, Paris, because dad likes that dancer person, Paris Goebel. There's all sorts of reasons why we're given names. But our names are really important. From a Te Ao Māori perspective, that's how we connect. Like, for instance, Whaia Sophie. If Whaia Sophie said, this is my surname, Tuihana, we would sit there going, oh, you the whānau from la la la, or you from la la la. Oh, do you know la la la? Oh, okay. We make that connection. I know the Filipino community do that also, Denise. Many of us will, have this, have these names that bring us together. So what is it about our name? Kapa. And then in our name, so our name should be at the center. It's like ha is at our center. Kapa. And then there's a couple of words. I'm going to put them in here. We're kind of going to do a bit of te whare te papa. Because it's really good for us to check in with our te whare te papa. Kapai? Where are we at? Where are we at with our hinenaro? Where are we at with our tinana? What's happening within our wairua? Our whānau? Kapai? Where is that really sense of belonging? Now, when I say belonging, for me, I just will automatically say it is, my real sense of belonging is a place called Taumata, which is back home in Tauranga. It's whenua that our whānau have sat on for thousands of years and live on. And my other place of belonging is the Urupā, because I can go there and see my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, and my great-great-great-grandparents, and my great-great-great-great-grandparents. Like, I can go back, I think it's like 6 or 7 generations. So I can go there. And that is my real sense of belonging. But there's this thing, like, when we think about, and yes, I want this as a reflective practice, but more about what's our intention for ourselves moving into Kōanga, this place of rebirth, this time of bringing things alive, this time when suddenly we've got more light in our day. So generally we have more light in ourselves. What are some of our intentions for our hinenaro, for our mental health and well-being? What are some of our intentions for our tinana? What are some of our intentions for our wairua, our spiritual well-being? What are some intentions for our whānau, our family well-being? Kapa? I want you to kind of create, draw, think about that. Think about what our intentions are as we move forward. And there's this beautiful, and I use this all the time too, like I'm not apologizing for reusing kupu, for reusing kaupapa, for reusing, because that's why we've been gifted it, and that is āta whakarongo. when the word ata is placed in front of a word like whakarongo, so whakarongo is like, whakarongo. It's to listen. When ata whakarongo is placed in front of it, it's not just to listen with these beautiful things called taringa or ears, but it's to listen with all else, all of us. So when we think about that, when we really listen to ourselves, what do we really want to set as our intentions for moving forward? For me, hene naro, the way that it was described to me by Che Wilson is that hene naro, there's like lots of words within the word hene naro. The whakapapa of that word is significant. You've got hene, you've got naro. It's got both female and male elements to it, but it's also around the masks that we wear, the hiding of ourselves, and actually getting rid of those masks in order to come. So it's kind of like this, when we go from te kore, which is the nothingness, where we learn lots, into te pō. So even in the darkness, there are stars in the skies, there's still light, into te ao marama, this place of light. So hene naro. So it's one of my intentions for my hene naro, is to really get out of my head, actually. It's stop with the bullshit that I tell myself. To like unstick the stuck. Because I am not, you know, I wasn't born of greatness to just keep putting myself back in the papatūnuku. Got to blossom. And then my tinana, well, yeah, no, there's some changes that go on in certain parts of your life as you mature. And it's about accepting this tinana that I've now been given, which is very challenging, can I tell you? But also, I really want to lift weights all of a sudden. I really want to be strong. Right? It would be easy to walk away from it, but I want to walk into it. And then my wider world, my spiritual well-being, well, more and more and more, I feel this calling to go home to tauranga more and more and more. So it's about listening to what that's telling me. Why? He tohu tēnā. So he tohu tēnā are what are the signs that you're receiving? Sometimes we're like, we don't want to hear that sign. We don't want to see that sign. But they're sending it to us for a learning, for a teaching. And then my whānau, I've got 3 sons, and I just want to see them all thrive, and I just want to see them flourish. But how do we work collectively as a whānau to have these spaces of abundance, not scarcity? And whenua, I love my whenua. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it. It is such a place of belonging for me. But I also love, love, love my Granny McKissick's engagement ring that I wear every day. I'm very proud of my whakapapa, both taha Pākehā and taha Māori. Very proud. You know, so what are some intentions? What are some goals that you're setting for yourself? And don't be going and writing screeds of goals, whānau. Just like 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 intentions. Because the greatest thing that we can do for our well-being is to be seen, is to be heard, and is to be valued. He pātai, how are you seeing yourself? How are you listening to yourself? How are you valuing yourself? And spring's a good time, you know, get a little pep in our step, right? Coming alive, coming alive. Fruits are starting to fruit. Things are starting to re-energize themselves. I can feel that. I can feel a lightness in Tamaki Makaurau. There's a certain type of energy, right, that each season brings. So just want you to do some reflecting on that. Okay. I just want to I want us to take us some time. And you know what? You might not be able to place something next to each of them right now, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Some joy we want to bring into our lives, right? Some joy. Haripua, joy. I feel like we need a little music intermission while we sit and create. Hey. So Michelle, if you've got a song request. What about a maizirika? I just want to give everyone the space to be able to really reflect and contemplate and set some amazing intentions. And you know, amazing can be, I just would like to read a book. You know, amazing doesn't need to be big. Yes. It's actually my favorite. I'm just going to take this way to whānau for you to reflect, and then I'm going to ask the whānau to share the ka pai.
He
wow, Michelle, that's like my favorite of hers. And because she's speaking about Tangaroa and she's speaking about tohora Wales. When I was in Rarotonga, sitting on a beach in Nikau, all of a sudden we saw about 3 or 4 tohora who decided that they would come out of the moana and show us all their beauty and amazingness. And it was the most spiritually wairua amazing. My young lady I was with, she said, Auntie, you should speak to them. Wairua, tell them, Auntie, tell them you're here. So I was like, no, I'm here. Can you wave at me? And, because I see you and I think you're amazing. And all of a sudden, one of their big fins came up and waved and splashed down and then came up again and then splashed down. And I was like, oh, they can see me. They can feel me. I'm sure they really couldn't, but, in my world, they could. But it was such a moving moment. And one of my goals is to go and swim with them. Either in Aitutaki, Tonga, I really want to go and swim and be a part of their greatness. And it was beautiful. I'd love someone to share just one thing from what you may have written, Kapai. So I'm going to begin with David. Kia ora, matua David.
Tēnā koe whaia Tuihana, tēnā koutou katoa, and aroha mai for being late to the session. Really enjoyable, great to be here. One of the developments for me, which I think would come under wairua, is journaling or writing reflection and gathering some of the moment, especially in terms of spiritual nurture, and an area I'm very interested in, and I plug into some different groups, some online and in person, that are in that space. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very thankful to be connected in that way. But I was challenged about journaling, maybe even attempting to write a poem as a way of gathering together and putting back out there. So kia ora.
Kia ora, that's beautiful, matua David. Thank you so much. It's interesting that you talk about poetry, because I know a number of people who are really moving into that space. And I think and poetry, from what I understand it to be, I'm not a poet by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just words that we can create. It doesn't need to have, so much of a format to it. So I love that, matua David. It's beautiful. Thank you. Wow, Georgina.
Kia ora tātou. That story about the whales was really beautiful, because I'm off to Raro on the weekend. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that and seeing that. And, David, even for me, as I'm heading out to Raro, I was thinking I must take a book. And it wasn't so much about journaling, but it was about poetry. So, these things are quite aligning here, because I've sort of written poetry on and off most of my life. I think it's from school days, just that was instilled as part of my as part of my education. And so poetry's always been with me, and so I do scribble it down from time to time. But this is you won't see it because it's a bit blurred out, but there I wrote my name in the middle, and did the different headings that you spoke about. And that Maisie Rika song, when I worked in the far north, one of our end of year things, rather than have a big kai or a bit of a party, our work we hiked from Te Rerenga Wairua across to Tāputaputa. Yeah, and I think there was about, there were maybe up to 30 of us, so that included workers plus our children. And so that song, so my son filmed it, And that song, the Maisie Rika song, he put that song to our hike. And so that also prompted me as one of my goals is to get out into nature and enjoy some hiking out there in the Ngāhere and just what that offers too. So yeah, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And there's something amazing about Te Ranga. I've been there twice up to the very top, and there's just something of so, and where the two moana meet, too, like
Yes.
there's like a perfect line. It's just kind of crazy cool,
Yeah,
you know.
it's
It's
beautiful up
beautiful.
there.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that bio, Georgina.
Yeah.
Roy, look at it, looking all beautiful. Take yourself off mute.
Kia ora
Gotcha.
ana. Kia ora ana tātou. Oro I poi tōku ingo. No te kuki airani mai au. And it's so, just listening, you going there, my colleague Georgina's going there, Sophie and I from the Cook Islands. Oh, I want to go home now. So, yeah, there's no place like home. However, it's like, you know, it's always going to be there waiting. And that calling, like you mentioned before, I hear it all the time, but I keep saying, not yet. I still have mahi here to do, and when I do go home, when that calling has gone to its ultimate call, the peak, then it's time to go, but not yet. So yes, I am from the beautiful island of Mangaia, and I do have a house in Rarotonga. So I do go home now and then. Anyway, back to, I would love to share everything, but just to, I never looked at that word intention. You know, it's always aspirations and all that, and I like this intention. For me currently, I just came into a role called kaiwhiriwhiri. So, and I have been taken alongside learning. And for me, it's currently there's so many that I want to do, I'm looking to, but this is one I picked out as simple as adding a few Māori kupu to my kete.
Oh.
It might sound, you know, not much, but it means a lot to me, especially in my journey right now, being immersed or, you know, going through learning te ao Māori. And I pick out, and actually, I do know who I am.
Yes.
But being in this journey of mine currently, learning te ao Māori has reignited or brought to me. There are some of my own, as I'm a Cook Island Māori.
Yeah.
I'm not from here.
Yes.
But the tipunas, you know, we all come from the same place.
Yes.
So me coming to this part of my life and finding ko waiau.
Ko waiau, ai.
Ko waiau. There's a lot of faces to it, but I'm going to just stick to Alimaiha Ikao in the Cook Islands, where it is, but it's my ko waiau now. And what am I finding now to help me understand? Because in the work mahi that I do, it's amazing. And through that ko waiau, just adding to my kete is pepeha.
Beautiful.
Because back home in the Cook Islands, pre my grandparents' time, they address each other like that. Come to my generation and not so. So I have found a deeper meaning to my connection through whakapapa, and now through a pepeha, learning through te ao Māori of this whenua. And words came out like whanaungatanga, rangatiratanga, manakitanga. And for me, it's like I'm in another world. But it's not just hearing it, but it really touches my wairua, because these are the things I suppose that I didn't grasp from my own, koro and, tūpuna. But this journey of mine has, I suppose, brought that, talking about springtime as bringing that back to life. So for me to apply it and feel it, and not just, oh, it's another word, oh, I need it for, to help me get along. No. It's got a deeper meaning. So I'm going to stop there because it's really emotional for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think it's a lot of, learning and appreciation, because in my mahi, I have a beautiful colleague that I say, hey, what does this mean again? Am I saying, the right kupu in Māori? So that's why I picked that word, adding, if it's one word today or 2 words in the week, that's a lot to me.
Beautiful.
So thank you so much for the opportunity to
Oh, thank you, Fire.
because I suppose that's where I will say I'm supposed to be on the Zoom.
Yeah.
And meeting you and the rest. Oh gosh, thank you very much.
Thank you for your kōrero.
Kia ora nā, and thank
Kia
you.
ora nā. Mai take mai. Sherry.
For me, so my real Chinese name is Sherry. So lots of people pronounce it Sherry, as it's quite similar to my Chinese name. So we always have our family name first to honor our ancestor. So Xue is my family name, and Ray is my given name. So my family name, according to my dad, means one of the kingdoms in ancient China, and Ray means a special plant. So we have the Chinese characters that made out of different roots. So both my family name and my given name share the same roots, which means plants. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, you go.
No. You go.
So when you talk about spring, so it made me feel really, really energetic, because so my name has a quite strong connection with plants, and plants need the energy, the water, sun, and everything to nourish is to grow. And spring is a perfect season to have the plants to grow. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. We'll hear from Eliana.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Hi, it's really nice to be with you all. Something that I think hits all of them for me is just more dancing. Just want to do more dancing, and spending time with the baby.
Oh, lovely.
She's so sleepy. So she's being my mood board, She sleeps a lot. She sits in the sun, and she just is gentle and beautiful. And so I'm trying to take a leaf out of her book.
Lovely. Lovely. And bye, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Tui. I wrote quite a lot on my page, and it was the theme was clearing and shifting things aside, and the idea of space, and in nearly every corner of my whare, I had that notion of making room for the next thing and making sure that that next thing had a solid foundation. So listen to my body so that I can be well in springtime when I want to be out there and enjoying everything. And for my whānau, making sure I listen to give space for their kōrero and for them to share things. So yeah, there was a real kind of idea of making a solid foundation that's really kind of authentic, and I think with a solid enough base, you can give yourself that kind of platform to kind of spring off of, and just giving yourself head space, health space, wider space, all of that space stuff.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. And I think many of us struggle with that, giving ourselves space, because and if you stop and just think for a moment, you give space to lots of things, whether that be your whānau, your friends, your partners, we give lots of space to others, but what is the space that we're giving to ourselves?
And I think as wahine, we that's often the last thing that we give any attention to.
Yes. It doesn't matter what our nationality is, by the way, what our whakapapa is. Wahine in general can be quite challenged with giving space to ourselves. Sorry to the tani in the room, but it's a bit of a fact. Gary, let's hear from you. Gary, did you hear me? Oh, here she comes.
Sorry, I didn't realize you said my name. Sorry.
That's okay.
Kia ora koutou. I've been fascinated listening to everybody's reflections. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone as well for sharing. With my name, of course, on the screen it says Gauri, but when I was born in India, and it's a collectivist culture, just like so many of us here in this virtual room come from collectivist cultures. And so when I was born, it wasn't just my parents who named me. It was my grandparents and my aunts and my uncles and the spirits, because my name had to be according to the astrological constellations, the stars, in order for me to have a good life. So it had to, everything, the stars, I guess, had to align in order for me to have a good name, and so my given name actually begins with an L. But this Gauri is the second half of the first half of the name, and that's what I go by. And so when I was thinking about that, I thought the L part, though, is still so much a part of me, because that's what connects me back to my own heritage. That's what connects me back to my family, even though I only have one or two people in my family who actually call me by my full name. But it's still really part of that larger connection. And I was thinking about what you said, Tuihana, with the unstick the stuck and listening with our whole selves. And sometimes I know for many of us, I know definitely for myself, I am my harshest critic.
Mm-hmm.
So setting that intention of being a bit more gentle
Mm-hmm.
with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will help me to be more gentle then with when I'm listening with my whole self, to others as well. And that's why I absolutely love the Te Whare Tapawha model, because it's not one thing. It's the whole package. It's, being spiritually or listening spiritually. It's listening with all of your being. It's listening with your emotional and mental health. It's listening with your physical health, and it's listening with community, because for so many of us, we don't live in this little vacuum by ourselves. We live in community, and living in community can be really great. I know in my family, we are so in each other's faces. But that's just the way we are. We love it. Sometimes it's challenging, but I think bringing that whole self is just a reflection of who we are, and how we can better honor ourselves and be less critical of ourselves while we're honoring others.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Well, thank you so much to you all for being open to sharing. I know it can be a little uncomfortable. I like to call it voluntaroha, not voluntold. And I really appreciate that everyone, has not had has those that have shared today. Thank you, Big Mahi. Just some mindfulness as we go through spring, and then as as we close off spring, we then go, or Kōanga, we then go into Raumati. And that first interaction with Raumati, because of the way that we set ourselves by the Gregorian calendar of going into December, is really such a time of accelerated stress, of accelerated anxiety. So I ask you to take the time and the space for Kōanga and all the beauty of Kōanga. We will get to Raumati, but just be some mindfulness as we start to accelerate towards that busy time. Especially in November, you can really start to feel things start to rise, And remembering what it is that we have around us. In Aotearoa, we are incredibly fortunate to be able to have so much wai around us, so much water around us, remembering the maramataka. And there's numerous resources that we can utilise for the maramataka in terms of the Māori lunar calendar, because all those various phases of the Māori lunar calendar can definitely influence how we're feeling. And if you're not aware of that, we can put a resource. I know that Michelle's aware of a resource for the maramataka, which can help you to learn more about it, and not just learn about yourself, but learn about the environment and the seasons and how things can influence us. And remember this interconnectedness to the taiao. But I ask you as we go into Kōanga sometimes is to stop, is to titiro, look, is to whakarongo, listen. But most of all, breathe. And there's a waitai I always sing. If you've ever been to any of my sessions, oh my God, when she goes again, she's going to sing that waiata. And I do sing this waiata. And I do sing the whakataiki, because it's a constant reminder to us all of how great we are. And if I look around this room at the moment, if I look at David, if I look at Denise and Douglas and Eliana and Godie and Georgina and Lisa and Michelle and Roy and Ruth and Sherry and Sophie and Anna and Deborah, if I think about all of us and all our collective whakapapa that's in the space, of who we are and where we're from. He kakanoa hau, I rue a mai, I rangi a te a. 'Cause I can never be lost, I am a seed, born of greatness, descended from a line of chiefs. He kakanoa hau. 'Cause no matter our whakapapa, no matter our ancestry, we are all here, seeds born of greatness that our ancestors have gifted us and give us every day. And as of Māori whakapapa, it's important to me to not just think about me, myself and I, but also about the future generations, those who have been before us and those that are to come. He tātou tātou, you, me, all of us. Ka pai? Now I'd love you to put in one word into the chat. He kupu tahi, one kupu, but you know, there's always some flex on there, about how you're leaving this space today. How you're leaving this workshop. And Anna, lovely to see your beautiful kanohi. Ke te pai, Anna. Ke te pai. Beautiful. Look at all these beautiful kupu that are popping up into the chat. Yes, we could end with a big karakia. We're just going to end with kia tuturo whakamaua kia tīna, tīna. Haumi e hui e, tai ki e. From my heart to all your hearts, go well, be safe, enjoy this time of kōanga, be great, be alive, be you. Kia ora, nā mihi.